Okay, all the online services working today? Who knows? Hi everyone, this is audap. I just lost $50. So let's check out Nintendo Switch Online with expansion pack. What will happen is you can download the two applications, and then once you pay up, you'll actually have access to these two new applications. Again, they're separate downloads, but they're free downloads. So we have the Genesis, if you're in the North American region, and we have Nintendo 64 if you're in the North American region. Of course, Nintendo didn't ship the controllers, either of them, for today, so I do not have my controllers. I don't know when they're going to arrive. There's not like there's any sort of indication when that's ever going to happen. I think for a lot of folks that are 100% into Nintendo, you probably want to dive first into the 64 library, which is significantly smaller than the Genesis library. It looks like, contrary to early reports, it looks like we can play these games online as well on the 64 side. So that's nice, because it wasn't really the online banner only appeared on the Sega Genesis titles in the initial promotion materials, so that's good. But let's go ahead and check out the Genesis titles first, since there's so many more of them. Obviously, I won't be able to go in depth into the games. We're just going to check them out just for a brief period of time. Same thing with 64, just so you get an idea of what the games are and what they run like. Kind of from a variety of publishers. Strangely enough, there's some Konami published games here. Although, yeah, and of course Sega's own games. Obviously got more of those. The old Seismic. I don't know who actually owns Seismic or that name anymore. But yeah, mostly Sega titles, with the exception of Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, and Musha. So let's check out Castlevania Bloodlines. I don't know if we have any options. Let's see here. We create suspend points. That's pretty much it. Can't change any filters or backgrounds or anything. Just bare bones. Again, we're just going to quickly check it. I know, I'm just always in the habit of hitting the options button when I first play a game. I think Eric is the better choice in this game. The ruins of Castle Dracula, Romania. Is that where Romano cheese comes from? I don't know, just a guess. There must be a way to get rid of these options that constantly appear on the bottom of the screen. Oh, we can applause in the... Well, hold on here. How about the general options? Can I shut off the help? 4.3, pixel perfect, CRT filter, show controls. Yeah, we don't need to do that. And no backgrounds or anything. I want to leave it at 4.3. Pixel perfect tends to look a little strange, especially since if you're playing on a flat screen monitor in 16:9, which I think most of us are. Oh, now I go. Now I went and done it. Okay, let's go back to that game. Okay, well, it's nice and fast, so that's good. A little worried about that. It does sound about right. Of course, you can get this game on the Castlevania collection. So this might be a bit of a redundant title for a lot of people, I think. Especially if you're already a Castlevania fan. Nice to see it runs at 100% speed, so, I mean, we're at our full, 5992. Yep, this is classic Castlevania. Before there was such a thing as the Metroid-style Castlevania, which people call Metroidvania nowadays. Oh, okay, why are you showing up? I thought I told you to get lost. Is it gonna be a pain in the ass? Yeah. Stop showing your damn self. I didn't ask for you. My rod is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Yeah, I wish you could turn on backgrounds, the sidebars, to be completely black. But no. For whatever reason, Nintendo doesn't think that's a thing that you should do. Which is where the advantage of playing this Castlevania on the Castlevania collection would probably benefit you more. You get full stereo sound for the games that have stereo. And this does sound like a Gen 1 Genesis. I was worried it might be like the Genesis 3 sound chip, which is completely shitty. Ah, you got me. I don't know. Not used to seeing Gibbs in a Castlevania game, huh? I think this Castlevania is a bit of an unsung hero. It's actually a really good Castlevania game. But, you know, it's a... it had to compete with Super Castlevania 4. Which is admittedly a better game, but that doesn't mean that this game is any slouch. It's really well done. You know, and also Rondo of Blood. Although I certainly think it's better than the Super Nintendo version of Rondo of Blood. So it does have that going for it. Though that may not be really all that fair. Yeah, I think if people give this a chance, I think I said this during the Castlevania collection, then it's really good. It's just hard to compete with the Super Castlevania 4 and Rondo of Blood, but those are impossibly high standards. I think they did a really good job with what they had. And they were also trying to, you know, out-treasure Treasure, since Treasure had, you know, shown everyone how to make, you know, really good Genesis graphics. So that's why you're seeing like a lot of the effects that were that Treasure was kind of showing in their games, in this game as well. Yes, I love meat hidden in the walls. It's the most satisfying flavor. Nope, I didn't grab that power up in time. No, well, whatever. I'm not playing that seriously right now. You got some cool multi-segment bosses. Oh, God, I'm not paying attention to my life. Alright. That's good. It's nice and fast to exit out of a game. Contra Hardcore. Oh boy. So the North American version. The significantly harder one. I won't see too much of this game. Even if I was trying to play seriously, you know, it's a very difficult game to go through. Again, I think it's a bit of an unsung hero, even amongst the Contra fans. Again, it had to beat with Contra 3 Legacy of War, or Contra 3, not Legacy of War, that game's terrible. So, in the shadow of that game, it's a little difficult, but you know, in its own right, it's really good. Howdy. Our security system has been breached by an unknown hacker. An unmanned robot is running rampant throughout the city. I want you to proceed to the area ASAP and restore order. Yeah, like I said, it's obviously the folks at Konami were just like, damn those treasure guys, leave and make all these awesome games. We'll show you. We could still make awesome games without you. And they did. They made some awesome games without them. Ah, we can't go back. Look at that, just instant death. Yeah, but it does run at 100% speed. I'm actually a little surprised. I thought for sure we'd get a frame drop here and there. The colors are about right. Sometimes they emulators oversaturate the colors on the Mega Drive. Which sounds kind of good on paper at first, and then you realize that everything just looks just a little off when you're playing. Ugh, damn it. I hate that. Oh, God, I forgot it hurt you. That's so stupid. I do wish they would have cranked up the sound just a little higher. It does sound kind of soft. I see they did the sort of the anti-flash version of this. The original release, that screen flashed in a probably not a helpful way for some folks that suffer from seizures. Oh yes, Mean V Machine. This is the rebranded Puyo Puyo. Again, you might already have a more modern version of Puyo Puyo, Puyo Puyo and Tetris 1 and 2. But there really hadn't been, I don't think, any Puyo Puyo releases until this and the SNES version of this game. And I think this version is just fine. It does look a little rough. Seems like the resolution is a little lower than what you'd expect, but it plays just fine. It's a good game, Puyo Puyo. I think it's one of the few cases where the Genesis sound really shines. It sounds pretty good. Though you may or may not like the actual songs. Puyo Puyo is a lot more about planning ahead than just reacting, unlike Tetris. I mean, Tetris is also about planning ahead, but this more so, in my opinion. I'm not good at planning ahead. That's why I have 12 kids. Yeah, I do wonder why these selection of games, of all the games in the Mega Drive library. It's sort of an odd mishmash of stuff. But maybe that's good. It shows how much variety there was in the system. Kind of hard to be excited about that one. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there wants it. Oh yes, Echo the Dolphin. Oh man, you either love or hate this game, honestly. I'm one of these people that I'm not really all that fond of it, but I do recognize that it's not a bad game. I just wouldn't like. I don't know if anybody's really asking for Echo. They just one of Sega's mascots, which they took on, and I mean they continued to make games until I think the Dreamcast. That was the last one I remember of Echo. Maybe there's something else that came out as well. This is one of these adventure games where, man, you will spend a lot of time being lost in this game. There's just minimal instructions. I think even the instruction booklet is not particularly great. How high in the sky can you fly? Your fellow dolphins, unfortunately, they're all kind of idiots. You might be the smartest dolphin in the world. Echo, if we breathe air, why do we live beneath the waves? Don't want to hang out with us. Us hooligans, that's why. Sing to the shelled ones and they will heal your wounds. Yeah, runs nice and smooth. I do kind of wish this was the Sega CD version, though. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you know, give us the best version possible. I always forget what to do. I talked to one of these idiots. The marks on your head look like stars in the sky. Well, great, thank you for something really obvious, my idiot friends. Who's it that gives me the thing to do? So there's a way to make those rocks go away. What? Oh, damn it. Okay, well, you're a moron. Sorry. I don't know why I talked to you twice. Charge small fish, 2 feet, and gain strength. You fishy fishy. Or maybe I could just do it with the regular charge? I honestly don't remember. Honestly, I'm really impressed with how the upscaling has worked. You know, depending on what kind of emulator you're using, or even if you're playing the Sega Genesis collection on the system, I think this actually looks quite a bit better. I think the scale, number one, the frame rate isn't complete trash, like in some of the games on the Genesis collection, and I think the colors are, I think the colors and the scrolling are a little bit better. You know, the Genesis collection had some notorious frame pacing and frame drops inside of it. So, you know, it was good for its value, but certainly not 100% emulation or 100% accurate emulation. I would say these games are the better running games. I don't know if it's worth $50 for everything, but maybe it is. Who knows? Everybody has their own opinions on that. I don't feel that this service is worth $50. But, you know, it's not because they didn't put the time and effort on getting these things to run correctly. Because they certainly did. Certainly better than the Genesis collection. This is before the age of the beat 'em up where the bodies interacted with each other. Yes, the early days of Brown games. Still fun to play. I mean, you know, I love Golden Axe. This version is actually better than the arcade as well. Or at least I feel so. I feel there's it kind of has better. It has better playability. Oh, come on, you know what, whatever. Get your ass out of here. Well, obviously the graphics take a hit. You know, it doesn't quite look as good as the arcade version. You know, it just magically passed through you. Okay, well, I can play this game for a while. Gunstar Heroes, yeah. Perennial favorite. I don't know, I'm not as into this game as a lot of other people. I think it's good, but, you know, I think, like, Contra is the better game. This one certainly has more variety. I think the game's like kind of low resolution, so things don't look like super clear. But you know, it's just running like so much stuff. There's like so much stuff going on, so I can understand why it's not like super sharp. And again, you know, you might be thinking, you know, you can get this emulated on a phone or something, you know, for a couple bucks. I think it might be a challenge to get something that actually runs at 100%. That actually sounds like a real Genesis, and doesn't run with some sort of crappy frame skipping. So I think this is good. Again, I don't know if the value is there for 50 bucks to get all these games. Maybe, maybe not. I think a lot of people think that just because the game is old that it's not worth anything. And that's not really 100% true. I think it's a little harder to justify with the Sega Genesis Collection, but the Sega Genesis Collection obviously does not run as well as this. Though you will get more games off the Sega Genesis Collection, so, you know, pluses and minuses, right? Again, we have that sort of dithering since the Genesis couldn't quite do the same sort of transparencies that the Super Nintendo could. We get like a little bit of dithering, which is almost convincing, but you know, not quite. It's not too distracting though. Sometimes emulators will do this all wrong, and that will look really, really bad. But I think this one is okay. Alright, enough of that. Musha, here's an all-time classic. I mean, if you were to be real super nitpicky, you know, you might think that this game would be worth it just for Musha, because Musha's like super expensive. And you know, you don't have to worry about, you know, buying a line doubler for your for your original Sega Genesis. I mean, this way is much more convenient. Now, whether this game is actually worth the asking price, I don't really know. It's really good. Though I tend to be more of a fan of Blazing Lasers than this one. I do hope that Nintendo decides to release the Sega CD library along with this, because there were a lot of really great Sega CD games. Well, maybe that's exaggerating a little bit. There were some really good Sega CD games that are worth playing, even though it did have, you know, a large amount of trash in their FMV games. It wasn't all like that, so there's some gems in there. Unfortunately, a lot of the trash is, you know, tends to be real famous. You know, they did the remake of, or the remaster of Night Trap and Double Switch, which I don't know who was asking for that stuff. But you know, not a remaster of Snatcher. You know, something that was actually good that we wanted. Although to me, you know, like the pinnacle of like the cartridge LS games was really like Space Megaforce or Super LS. That's probably my favorite among the cartridge releases. Of course, they had some CD games as well, but that was on the Super Nintendo, which strangely enough hasn't made its way on the collections, I don't think. I'll have to check. Maybe it did make it on its way on the Switch Online. I don't think so. Obviously, it's been a while since I've looked at the Switch Online. Nintendo has a real, you know, anemic update schedule on this, you know, original Nintendo and Super Nintendo game library. I imagine it's going to be at the same pace for these games as well, so who's to say? Ah, damn it. Oh, so out of practice. I used to be able to win 1 credit this game. Alright, well, obviously I can play that for a long time. Hopefully Phantasy Star 4. Certainly the best Phantasy Star. And that still goes for today. Really the last game in the RPG series, before it became an online series, you know, an action RPG online. And I certainly love PSO2, don't get me wrong. It provides, you know, many, many hours of fun, but I do wish they'd at least think about making a Phantasy Star 5. Especially considering, I think this game was $90? It might have been $100 when it came out. It's one of the most expensive cartridges on the system. Yeah, see, on the Sega Genesis collection, this music is not right. It does not sound the way it's supposed to. So it's nice to hear it emulated properly. Yeah, and a number of the sound effects don't quite sound like a Genesis that exists. Yeah, this is nice. It runs nice. It's nice to hear the original music in all its glory, well-composed glory. Aww, 2284. I mean, this is going to be its own separate playthrough, which will span a number of weeks. It's a very, very big game, and it's old school RPG, so it's a lot of grinding. Oh, I got separated from Alice. No, not Alice. I got separated from you, even though you're right there. I must be like 4 years old or something. Okay, yeah, I wish I could show you more of this. This would be interesting, Rystar, because Rystar, the original cartridge release, the voices were really super scratchy, but then on the Sega Genesis collection, they actually fixed up the voice to sound more clear. So it'd be interesting to see what this one is. I think that's the better sounding one. Yeah, one of my favorite games. Yeah, unfortunately a game which I think it just came too late in Genesis life, so not as popular, but not because the game isn't quality. I didn't see Dynamite Heady in this package. I'm surprised that isn't here either. Well, I gotta say, you know, obviously the Rystar design is not too fancy. It is just a star or a ball with a star face mask. Still, no reason to hate the game. Ah, damn it. Honestly, I felt even when this game was released that it was like the better mascot than Sonic. But oh well, alas. Boink. Alright. Oh boy, the original Shining Force. Yeah, fans of Advance Wars or I forget the name of the Nintendo series. Could be real familiar with how this game looks and plays. It's kind of nice to see this game here, because it is another game that's fairly expensive. Yeah. Vormfast. Yeah, oddly enough, I think the game that in the Shining series I played the most was Shining in the Darkness, but that was kind of an early Mega Drive release, so not because it was like a great game. It just happened to be one of the ones that I owned. But yeah, I love the art style. I think the text still kind of sucks. That's all italicized text. But again, yeah, I think it still looks pretty good. As far as the overall emulation, the sound, and the graphics. God, I don't remember what all the stuff you have to do. Because it takes a while to get to the first battle. But, you know, turn-based strategic RPG. I know, I wish I could remember the name of the Nintendo series. That's just like this. I can't off the top of my head. Everybody knows it, though, and everybody played it. Again, I'm just happy that these games run at 100% speed without the frame skipping. which is what really bothered me about the Sega Genesis collection, on the Switch. Alright. Well, gosh, I can't get into a battle. Not without taking forever. Ah, Shinobi 3. I still think Revenge of Shinobi is the more fun game, but this is really, really well done. They released a sequel to this on the DS, which I thought was well done as well. It's kind of a shame that Sega has forgotten about Shinobi as well. I mean, they did try to revive it in on the PS2 era with Shinobi and Kunoichi or Nightshade, depending on what region you're from. Yeah, but it's just a well-made action game. Nice and challenging, perfectly balanced, great graphics. Hard to say hard to say anything bad about Shinobi 3. Ah, damn it. Timing's so bad. Yeah. Okay, I'm already way into this game. Duh, Sonic 2. No Sonic 1, no Sonic 3, no Sonic and Knuckles, but Sonic 2, which, in my opinion, this is still the best of the classic Sonic games. And it really doesn't get any better until we hit Sonic Mania, which, of course, wasn't even made by Sega. But, most of you know, I'm not that big of a Sonic fan. Yeah, I don't have another controller, otherwise I'd try the two-player mode. The squishy two-player mode. Oh, I see they did the transparency fix too, so it looks a little bit better on the shield. Sometimes that's wrong. I think it's wrong on the Sega Genesis collection, actually. Doesn't look quite right. Yeah, the music is really exceptional in Sonic 2. They did a good job with all the tunes and having them be real catchy, having some variety through them as well. Versus Sonic 1, which I felt was a little weak on the music department, but it does have lots and lots of memorable songs. Let's really say it's Sonic. It's very well emulated Sonic. You figured they had to get this right, at least, of all these games. Yeah, that's good. Streets of Rage 2, probably the best of the series. Streets of Rage 3 being somewhat of a disaster. There's something about Streets of Rage 1 though that I really like. I just like the power system, where you just have a special move that just works just like Golden Axe. It just kind of brings everybody down. Versus this one, which you have to sacrifice a little health for your super move. God, I wish they'd fix the voices in this game. They're so scratchy. I know they can do it because they fixed the Ristar voices. There was something about the level 1 song in Streets of Rage 1, which is so iconic. It's kind of a shame they couldn't put the first game in here as well. Maybe it'll come later. It's nice that the characters got larger. They managed to get larger characters in. Still not as large as like Final Fight characters, but you can have more characters on screen. So I guess there's that. Well, sort of. I mean, I think actually Final Fantasy still has more characters on screen. I know, seeing the artwork for this game makes you kind of realize that Streets of Rage 4, they really don't look as good. I mean, Streets of Rage 4 has a ton of other feature enhancements that make the game fun to play, but I still think the graphics look better in this version. And they look even better still in Streets of Rage 3, but that game is just trash. It's kind of hard to even play that game. Oh, listen to that music. It's so great. Alright. Again, I could play that game for a very long time. Oh boy, Strider. 8 megabit power. Still, this is certainly one of the best home versions of Strider. I mean, it wouldn't be until like the PlayStation 1 when they released like the arcade perfect version of the of Strider, and even then it had like a little bit of loading. I mean, even the Super CD version of this isn't as good as the Super CD version of on the PC Engine isn't as good as this version. Yeah, at least the sound on the sword is right. This is terrible on the Genesis Collection. Yeah, it's a very reasonable facsimile of the arcade. I was certainly satisfied with it when it came out. Couldn't put a voice in here, unfortunately. Oh, I gotcha. See, a little flicker there, but oddly enough, the arcade version flickered as well. Ah, good. Oh, so tricky. So tricky. Oh my god, I'm almost out of time. Run, Shredder! Okay, my goodness, I'm just get sucked into that game. Okay, so yeah, so that's all the games offered on the Genesis side of the house. If you're getting the if you're losing $50 today, let's take a look at the Nintendo 64. Not as many games offered here, unfortunately. Nintendo's like a real, real stiff old man. He only wants to give you, like, 2 candies at Halloween. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. Let's get out of here. This, you have to push select to get out of it. Let's turn off the... Yeah, let's do that. Oh, we can do North American and European versions too? Yes, thank you. Go away. Alright, there. Are you happy I pushed the button? Damn bastard game. Yeah, I understand from Nintendo's point of view that $50 is good value for all the games you're getting. Because, like I said, if you were to buy these games, in the cartridge form, you'd certainly pay more than $50 for all this. But obviously, the value of emulated games is just not as high. It's one of those things Nintendo just doesn't get. I don't think they ever will. Okay, I screwed that up. Nice. Oh, good. I can't even get past the first the first puzzle. It is a super catchy song. Sometimes I just listen to the song. Yeah, I'm not going to do well. Obviously, this was not a staple game for me. I've never really been into Dr. Mario that much. But it runs nice. And it's not like super blurry, which is what I was really worried about. You know, Nintendo 64 games generally tend to be on the blurry side. You know, they're low resolution, plus the textures themselves are low resolution. So sometimes when these games get emulated, it was certainly true on the original Wii. They looked, you know, not great. Certainly better than they did on the 64, but not ideal. So then a little bit of cleanup here. Oh, that's right. You have to use the control stick. Sitting here pushing on the D-pad. Why isn't that working? It's a control stick game. Yeah, this is a seminal game. Obviously, your mileage may vary on how much you like it now. You know, I still like the game, but I definitely I have a hard time playing it again. You know. Yeah, okay. Just leave me alone, Nintendo. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's certainly a cleanup image versus the original Nintendo 64 release. I mean, those edges are nice. Of course, I would have preferred the 3DS version be converted over, since they made, you know, a ton of improvements on the 3DS version. But again, not meant to be, apparently. Navi. Navi, where art thou? Come hither. O Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now. Find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly! The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee. Now, even after all these years, the script is still really good. Again, would have preferred the 3DS version. Nintendo's just claw at the ownership of those games so much. They just don't want to give us the version that we want. Navi, you moron. You have one job. Yeah, that does look nicer. It really does. I mean, I don't want to break up my It's N64. Look at that blurry mess. Alright, Mario Kart. I'm sure a lot of people are happy about Mario Kart. I actually don't like this version of Mario Kart that much. Especially the versus mode. I feel that the stages are too big for just only having 4 players. You run into like a lot of dead space playing the multiplayer in this game. Well, at least that's how I feel about it. Again, it seems like they've done a bit of cleaning up, so it does look better than the last time we saw this game. Well, we saw this like on the Wii U before. No, oh, not too soon. God, those pre-rendered bitmaps. I mean, it's what they had to do at the time with technology. This looks so silly. No. No, I didn't even mean to launch it. Yeah, it's pretty death stare, Luigi. Yeah, I'd love to see this game without the frame limiter. You have to see it run at 60 frames. Maybe someday. But that day's not today. Alright, that's good stuff. Mario Tennis. This is one of my favorite games. You know, in the age of virtual tennis, this was really, really well done. Just punish myself. I mean, in some ways, I like this game better than the last Mario Tennis game they had on the Switch. Oh, wrong button. I know, Bowser's a better doubles partner. I forget he's such a stick in the mud. I don't remember why I liked him.
this Bowser.
I mean, look how fast you can get into everything. No waiting around like the modern iterations of Mario Tennis. Yeah, I swear it won't be just a Mario Tennis. Sin and Punishment. Boy, this is a weird one to play. The controls on this can be rather difficult. Did they bother to translate this one, or is it still the bear? No, no. I guess they did some work on this. Yeah, and I really feel that Sin and Punishment 2 is just that much better of a game. I mean, this is good too, all things considered. But Sin and Punishment 2 on the Wii is I feel is a much stronger game. This was just really fancy for the Nintendo 64. It certainly pushed the system. Again, this would be an expensive title to get if you wanted to purchase it physically. Plus, it wouldn't really look as good as this. Not without some heavy modifications to your Nintendo 64. Even then, it'd be a bit of a struggle since the base resolution is so low, and on a modern TV, it'd be hard to look at. People certainly do it, though. You know, I just don't think the results end up looking anywhere near as good as something like this. Again, for me, this game is like kind of hard to love. The control is so awkward. I would have rather have had Mischief Makers if I wanted a treasure game from this era. I mean, I don't know which is worse, you know, shake shake or get bonus. Hard to say. Actually, it was nice to see it in so much with so much English. So, I guess that's cool.
Ruffians here already? What the melee one? What the melee button is? Where'd they come from?
Oh, so chunky. So chunky. Yeah, Star Fox 64. Again, a lot of people love this one. I actually still prefer the original Star Fox. But, you know, you can play that on the original Nintendo Switch online service. And even Star Fox 2. But I do get the love. I do know where it comes from. I don't think it's funny that Nintendo doesn't seem to know what to do with the story of this game. Like, they just keep remaking the first game over and over again.
It's about time you showed up.
But, you know, Nintendo's not known for, like, making super great storylines.
Andros won't have his way with me.
Maybe they just never expected this series to take off.
Open the wing.
Korean spicy wings? The only wings worth opening.
Check your G-diffuser system. Falco here. I'm fine. This is Peppy. All systems go.
Flippy here. I'm okay.
I see him up ahead. Let's rock and roll. Flippy, get back here. Flippy, watch out. Bogey on your tail.
Whoa! Help me!
Slippy, you seem to be in love with death all the time.
I thought they had me.
We're entering Corneria City now. This is horrible.
Yeah, I do have a fondness for the game. I don't know, there's just something about that original game which really, even though it ran at, you know, whatever, 8 frames a second, I still love it.
You got an enemy on your tail. Use the brake.
He said, "You idiot! That wasn't the brake."
Hey, I'll take this one. Get the one behind me. Something's wrong with the G diffuser. Use the boost to take. I guess I should be thankful. Do a barrel roll.
I wonder if there are people that don't know where that this is where that came from. Maybe, depending on how old you are.
Pretty smooth flying, Spock. Follow me, Spock. Falco, where you going? I found the target. Try to keep up. Hey, Einstein, I'm on your side.
Well, sometimes.
Time for a little payback. Gotcha.
I would like one of these Star Fox games to like just have Falco just completely lose it and just join the enemy.
Someone wants to play.
Incoming enemy from the rear. Drop altitude.
Enemy field analyzed.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still good times. I just not super fond of that one. Mario 64. In case you know, you didn't buy the HD collection.
Hello. Okie dokie.
Yeah, this was an amazing game. Obviously, when it came out.
Mario,
I mean,
please come to the castle.
you may or may not like it. You know, because Mario is awfully slippery. You know, it's got a lot of inertia that goes on in this game. The physics are not quite what they are in the later games, but still, genius design. I think it's still really good. Still fun to play now. You just have to, you know, bear with the blurry graphics. Yeah, the desert level, to me especially, is... yeah, and I don't really like desert levels in most games, but the desert level is, like, really breathtaking. At least when it initially came out. Yeah, but obviously, I mean, we played all the way through this in the HD collection. Still, nice to see. Look at him, he's so sad. Oh, I can't believe I got this job. I used to destroy you in Mario 3. Now I'm just a cameraman.
Let's go.
Seems like seems like there's like just a little bit of a frame drop here and there. Although that is how the original game ran. I mean, it certainly wasn't perfect. I think it might be hard to kind of go back to this one after playing the HD remix or the HD collection. Yeah, certainly as I remember it. Yeah, it's hard to emphasize how revolutionary this game was. I mean, the 3D platformers up until now were really more akin to 2D games. Sort of Crash Bandicoot-ish, you know? Not to hate on Crash Bandicoot. I think that first game was pretty good. All subsequent games, well, you know, maybe not so hot. Oh, whoops. It's funny, they're teaching you analog without teaching you. Not that the Nintendo 64 invented analog, but I mean the Saturn had it beat. But they certainly got it. They certainly got it right. Oh well, I guess technically the 5200 got Nintendo beat on the analog stick.
Here we go!
Something doesn't quite feel right about how it scrolls from side to side. I mean, I guess that's how it originally was. It's been so long since I plugged in my Nintendo 64. I don't even think the thing works anymore. Ah, Winback. Winback is one of these games that's really cool once you get into it, but I don't think a lot of people played this game, which is real unfortunate. It has like the dressings of a Metal Gear, but it's really just a third-person action game. I remember I had a friend that I played this game with. There's a two-player versus mode, which was a ton of fun. So hopefully people will, you know, discover this game if they haven't played it before. Obviously, some shades of Metal Gear in there. Some slight inspiration, but the game doesn't play anything like Metal Gear. In fact, there was a Winback 2, which I think I'm still trying to find. Oh, how's this going to look? Actually, it looks pretty good. Go into mission! What was shoot? Yeah, I can't remember. There we go. Oh, they let you use the right stick. That's kind of cool. I didn't think they would take the time to program that in. Thank you for waiting there. I appreciate it. No, I don't want to. I know it's inverse controls on the y-axis. Thing we're getting used to. I'm so covert. Look at that. He didn't even know I was here, especially after he died. Yeah, I mean, it's an action game. It is not like a stealth action. Seriously? I guess maybe it could be a cover shooter? I don't know. Damn it. Laser trap. One slip and I'll be a crispy critter. What could that be? OMG. Oh man, you guys take your job way too seriously. You ought to relax. Alright, well, you get the idea. Then Yoshi's Story. Oh boy, the extremely disappointing follow-up to Yoshi's Island. In fact, I don't even think they got this right until the Wii U version. Or maybe it was on Switch. I don't know, there was one that I really liked recently. This definitely looks crisper than I remember. What was it again? Oh, okay, I just gotta let go. Let's see. Let me give something special a try. Oh, you can use the right stick instead. That's kind of cool too. God, was that some judder there? Seemed like it. Yeah. Gosh, just happened that one time. Oh god, wow, his hand reaches high, doesn't it? He just creates an invisible wall. Oh well, I guess you guys get the idea. Anyway, boy, that was it. This is audap. You've been watching the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. I think we covered all the games available so far. As far as what you're getting for your money, you're still getting the same old Nintendo Switch Online. So that hasn't changed. You are getting a bunch of games. I don't know how you feel about the value of all these games. At least initially. Maybe later on when they've, doubled this library in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, like they've done with the NES and Super NES. Maybe then $50 won't seem quite as bad. But, I just have a hard time justifying, these games, especially the selection of the games that they have. Kind of stuff that we've already seen before and we've played before. I wish there was, different stuff rather than what they've been offering over the last 25 years. Probably the most exciting thing is the Genesis. I don't know, again, how valuable this library is. People don't tend to value the Genesis as much as the Nintendo systems. Not really sure why that is. It was #1 in the States for quite a while, with the Super Nintendo eventually surpassing it. But, it has a good library here. Certainly stuff that I'd want to play again. But I think the emulation here is certainly better than what you've been getting previously, outside of something like Arcade Archives, which obviously none of these games would have covered. Again, I don't know if the value of the 50 games in the Sega Genesis collection is more important than more accurate emulation. In my case, I do have other means to emulate these games. I have a Mister, which pretty much runs all the stuff at 100%. But that's a rather expensive solution to this, which may or may not be worth it to you. But again, if you like this stuff and you're looking for a way to play it on your system, then sure, maybe the value is there for you. I don't suggest people get this service. Stick with the $20 service. You're not going to get your Nintendo 64 and your Genesis games, but you do have certainly other means to play those games. I don't know if you're going to have fun revisiting the N64. That one's a harder sell, I think, than the Genesis, which I think is something that hasn't really been offered that much on Nintendo systems. So yeah, check it out if you'd like. I can't really give it a thumbs up as it is. Again, 3 or 4 years from now, when they've added 2 more titles to these to these systems, maybe. I like having some of these games available on the service, but your mileage may highly vary. So just know what you're getting into when you're signing up for that service. $50 a year. It's still the cheapest service of all of the other competitors, but it also offers the least amount for an upgrade. So who's to say? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.